Los geht's. Guten Tag, Herr Wolfgarten. Let's talk swimming, this time from beautiful Tobago. We've been here for a couple of days now. Jan Wolfgarten and I, we were on a mission. What was it? I wanted to swim from Trinidad or from Tobago to Trinidad or Trinidad-Tobago. And it wasn't really that successful. It was my second attempt to do this swim. Just to give some ground information about the swim itself. It is about the airline is 34 kilometers, and total swum kilometer will be around 45, 55 kilometers both ways. One is current supported and one is against the currents. So it's a special one. It's a very technical one and a very tough one, I guess. And one thing which is really important is officially no one has achieved it yet. I would have been the first, but I want to give you the word to also jump into the conversation.
Yes, pleasure to be here. So you mentioned a few words. Unsuccessful. Wouldn't really call it unsuccessful. I mean, we didn't get a chance. We could have taken a chance, but I don't know. I think in general, if the conditions are bad, it's probably best to wait until it clears up and give yourself a good chance. Could we have gone out there, try to force it? Possibly, maybe, yes.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, and I've done quite a few of those swims as a coach for Waschi, for Andreas Waschburger.
Yeah.
Shout out. First of all, we didn't take a swim that wasn't possible, that wasn't promising for the goals we had. And then second of all, we had some information, for example, from New Zealand that above 13 knots, swims are not permitted. We had on very, very good occasions 11 and on bad occasions 17 to 19. On average, we were looking at 13 to 15.
Yeah.
So if you look at that alone, they wouldn't have even let us go out there. Probably for good reason too.
Sure.
When we take the information that we got from Gabriel is our the guy who drove the boat. A very experienced fisherman. He said it's on the other side of the island. And that is the side that we needed to swim in order to cross the channel. It was essentially not swimmable. So, that being said, we had we had a good time here. Could almost call it a vacation. Now I think the best approach is very similar to what we did for Waschi's world record in the English Channel, which was to just stay at home, train at home, wait for them to give us a signal, say there's a window opening up where the conditions look promising, and then immediately book a flight, come over, and make it a 4-day affair, essentially, maybe 5. I mean, fly one day, land. We will land in the evening again, like this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a good night's sleep, rest one day, and swim the next day.
Yeah.
So that's 3 days, then swim one day, and then on the 4th day, I guess we could already go home. Maybe we could celebrate, make it 5 days, but should be done in 4 to 5 days.
Should be done.
Yeah.
I think from that point of view, I mean, as I said, I swam already last year. I was never drifting off. Last year, the problem was that that time when I attempted, I tried to swim from Tobago to Trinidad. So you would start on the bottom. If you look at the map, and you would start on the bottom part of the not on the leeward side, on the wind shadow side, on the other side of Tobago, and then I was swimming from Goodwood Bay towards actually missing the island of Trinidad on a map. And then obviously the currents are that strong, and you would go onto the east side of Trinidad. And there I was well on the way. We also spoke to the captain again, and he also said it was, I mean, for him there was no showstopper as such. I mean, there was good pace. and everything like that. My shoulder just didn't sustain it because of the choppiness. Because this is one thing which you will never really get off, is the choppiness of the water. It will be always choppy. That said, it's a doable swim. This time we tried to do it well. So the currents usually run from the east side of the island upwards through these two islands, or through the channel towards northwest. This would be the line, like this way. And what we wanted to do, kind of a slingshot swim this time, or we would have attempted a slingshot swim this time. We might gonna stick with that plan, or we most probably will stick with that plan even on that standby, flying out, doing it. So we will go to Toco and try the slingshot. So we are with the current. If you go from Tobago to Trinidad, you will always swim against the current, and then afterwards, the last bit, you wanna hope that it pushes you towards Toco, or just the east side of the island of Trinidad. Devastating because we didn't even really get to try. On the other hand, I think yes, it's doable, and we will come back for it. I think it's manageable and it's really important. A lot of people have said that to me. I think you should also chat into that or say something into that. Know your limits and know which fight you need to choose or which you can choose. And this time we couldn't, although my brain says, but you need to know your limits. And this was a no-go for me. Why we're creating this ourselves is because there is no organization like on all the other channels. We need to create the plan. No one has done it before, so we are the ones who sets the bar, and that's why. That's a bit more on the details of it.
Yes, and also what makes it tricky is that it's fairly obvious that the conditions are tough, but nobody really knows what will truly happen out there, because we use windy for our judgment almost exclusively. We had another one that was predict current, so we're basically working off what we can find on the internet.
Yes, exactly.
And when you look at that, it seems reasonable, right? I mean, everybody knows the math, especially the viewers who come from triathlon. They take out a piece of paper for the Ironman. Yeah, I'm going to swim an hour and 5. Yeah. I'm going to bike 4:45. It's going to be easy. You do it all the time and train. Then I'm going to run a marathon in 3 hours.
Exactly.
And then they wonder why they're 3 hours slower when the race is over. We've all been there, okay? So no judgment, but it's always tough when you take a piece of paper and you do the math. And it's like, yeah, the current comes from here. We swim at that pace. And it sounds kind of easy for a swimmer like him who should be able to swim 4 kilometers an hour under normal conditions. Yeah. That's a 1:30 pace. That shouldn't be that big of an issue. No. So we were already calculating kind of on the conservative side, but we really don't know, because the fishermen, Gabriel said, they were talking about 6 knots of current.
At some point, yeah.
The difference between 1 and 6 knots is 1 knot is about 1.852, to be exact, kilometers an hour. Yeah. So that's still fairly doable for a decent swimmer, if you face that even head on. Exactly. 6 knots, we're talking more than 10 kilometers an hour. True. For reference, the Olympic champion Florian Wellbrock, when he won the Olympics in Tokyo, his race took 1 hour and 50 minutes for the 10K. So you kind of get an idea what we're talking about here. It would be essentially impossible to beat a current like that.
It would be impossible.
And so there's a lot to learn. If you're the first one, if you're the pioneer, you never really know what you get. And that's why we decided ultimately to wait for those maybe 10, 15, 20 days a year that you get where even here, the sea, at least you're not fighting the waves and the wind. You only fight the current. Yeah. And I think that's a pretty good approach.
I think so too. I think to conclude this whole swim, also when you're the first to do something, you need to have something to show for, in that sense that you need to have the right tools to prove it also, because officials won't come here directly. They for them it's not interesting like an English channel or Ocean 7 channel. Not yet. So you need to kind of have all the tools which make it not believable, make it waterproof that you've done it. So one thing is a tracker obviously on the boat who tracks you what you've done. Next is a log which you need to write down every feeding time you need to write down what you ate, where are you, what pace you're going, all these nitty-gritty things. On all channels it's done. Then you need the vital signs. Here it's very important because not North Channel they say you shouldn't wear a watch. Here it is pretty much impossible not to wear a watch because you need to kind of see that your heart, what is your heart doing, what is it going? Because if you get on a boat, then obviously the heart jumps out, and if your battery of the watch doesn't last, you need to have a second watch and you change it. These are certain things which you need to have, and so far, again, we are the pioneers in that sense. Shout out also to Jason Rojas, who was the idea giver of the whole swim. He's from Trinidad and Tobago, and we'll link him in the video too. And I think
he gave it a try today.
He did, but swimming around Tobago
lasted 5 hours.
So
started off well, but then again the current got so strong that he was making 200 meters an hour.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a tough place to be in.
It's a tough day at the office.
But he gave it a shot, and all the much to respect to him.
So, respect to him. And he's a warrior, trust me, guys. Follow him up and look at this guy, 50 years old and still going strong. And having a brain like this and being adventurous like this, respect to him.
One hell of a sunset, by the way. You guys cannot see it, but...
We can. So... this is the joys of not swimming in the end. We tried to make the best out of it. Thank you very much for being on the journey.
Thanks for having me.
And it was really fun. And we'll come again very, very soon.
Yes.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.